Ngosi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. With me today is Carol Ann Cooper. Carol Ann, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Nonsa. And as the writing facilitator, what I do is I support women in becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. But more importantly, they experience free-flowing writing. They experience an unlocking of the writer within and getting their story written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And all of this has come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol Ann. So, our topic today, you chose this topic, is how do you learn good habits of working at home? I've been reading a lot, like on Google, people getting fired, and some people on TikTok, they're making videos going viral, getting fired
Yeah.
because of moving out of their desk. And is there any rules working from home that we can actually, principles or habits that we can create, and hours as well? What are the hours of working from home? And also, can I put a sign for my children by the door and say, do not disturb? And also
Hours
the
working from
breaks
home.
as well. Do we take lunch? Do we exercises? What do we do, Carol? And please, I love to hear your opinion working from home.
Oh, that's a good one. Some good questions there. Um, and it's something that I'm really working on myself and realizing that maybe I need to form some better habits. And just again, a topic that caught my eye, and I thought, I need to explore this. And there is, yeah, hours working from home. Well, I think you set your own, but I think you need to be consistent and be, what's the word, disciplined. If you say these are the hours I'm going to work from home, then that's what you do. Because it doesn't need to be 9 to 5. I think that's the beauty of working from home. If you decide you want to work in the morning and just say, okay, 9 till 12, and then the afternoon I'll have that off, but I'll work in the evening. You've got that flexibility. And I think that's what's important. In terms of, do you put a do not disturb on your door? Well, I think it's really important that you establish with your family, do not disturb. That's key, that they need to know you're working. And that's a boundary that you need to establish. And because when my door is shut, everybody here knows, including my grandchildren, they know not to disturb me. They may just knock on the door if I don't answer, and then they won't pursue it, you know, but they won't just barge in. If my door is not shut completely, it's open, then they know that they can come in. And they abide by that. And it's the same because their mum works from home, and she's got created herself a space in the dining room, but they don't disturb her. And even though you can see her because it's got glass window doors are shut, but she's not disturbed. It's a clear, we're working, do not disturb. And so it is about establishing that and making sure that you uphold that boundary and reinforce it. Because I know someone who doesn't, and she's not very effective with her work, constantly being interrupted by her children. And so it's stressful. It's stressful. So what do you do, Nomsa? Do you have a do not disturb, or do you have an understanding and an established a rule about whether you're disturbed or not? I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
If anyone wants to comment, please feel free to comment. I would love to hear your comment, and I would love to hear how you deal with how you set up your working from home principles, or do you just go along? For me, I have to tidy up the whole house. I go out in the morning in the office, and then at home, because I need to be closer, pick my daughter up. But actually, I'm 5 minutes away from where I work now, so it does not make any difference. So what I do is I go to the office, and then I come back at home before, and then I work here and broadcast. And then when I'm finished, then I'm able to go and pick my daughter up from school. But when the kids are at home, my children are so disciplined. You will not hear a word when they are here in the same room I stay. I like to see them. I like to see what they get up to. So they sit here where I am and just get on with whatever they're getting on, and they're so quiet you can't hear them. If they are hungry, if they have food and they have something to keep them occupied, they are fine. My daughter, she's my older one, she's 15 anyway. She does her own thing. But I have a rule that I cannot tidy up the house. I can't do washing. I can't do nothing. If I'm working from home, I have to focus. I can only take my lunch. I'm allowed to eat. I'm allowed to take a break, but I can't take a break or maybe go to the kitchen. If I take a break, I sit on the sofa and just sit down and chill out and relax. I do lots of walking. So when I'm working, I don't need to do the walking business. But you can set your hours based on your situation. For me, when I'm working means work. And before, when I started my business, before I got the office, I'll work from home. Then I see the washing. Now I'm leaving my desk, and then I'm going to put the washing, or the phone will ring, or I start uh, calling all my friends. They call, I talk to them. But now, if they call, I'll answer the phone. If they're okay, I cut the phone. I tell them I'll call them back when I'm free. The reason I answer the phone is sometimes somebody might call you and they are really, really need of trouble. They're in trouble and you don't answer the phone and they die. So I always answer the phone to make sure they are okay. But I have this thing where I am disciplined. Work from home, it means work from home. If my daughter is disturbing me or anything, and also what I like, if I'm speaking to my clients, it's fine. My children they get themselves busy. But like, let's say if I'm doing a Facebook Live or I'm doing anything, if my daughter comes along, they never do anyway. I don't chase them away because I'm showing people that it is okay to do things when you have children. Because some people simply make excuses for not uh, uh, working on their goals. They use children. I have children. I can't do this. So that is me showing people that it is normal. But my children, it never really disturb me. They're really, really good. And also, you have to be disciplined when working from home. Not skipping lunch, Carol Ann.
No.
Yeah, not skipping breakfast or lunch or anything. You have to have food, drink a lot of fluid.
Absolutely.
So how does it work with you? I know you were explaining that. How long have you guys been working from home?
Well, I've been from home ever since I left school, really, left teaching, being self-employed and working for myself. So that's, I think this getting into a work habit, the edges of my life and my work sort of really got, what's the word? They went in together, you know. There was no clear, this is work, this isn't. And in some ways I enjoy that, but I got to realize that actually there were things I wasn't doing. And I was starting to think, oh, I'm not happy about that. And started to realize that maybe I ought to make time for those. So actually scheduling it. So actually keeping a diary and a schedule, and actually scheduling things in, like a meal break, or going to visit someone, or going to do some shopping. So it's actually in your schedule, or going out for the day. You know, you say you want a day off, then take a day off and actually do that, but put it in your schedule. Actually put it in your calendar and do it, so that you then don't start to come to resent the amount of time that you're putting into your work. I mean, I enjoy researching, I enjoy exploring, and I love doing work on myself and constantly improving and doing the balances, and, you know, to shift where the blocks are. And that's what I love doing, and really practicing my craft, practicing everything that I've been trained in on myself a lot, and so deepened in this work and deepened in what I'm able to do. But there comes a point where there's that fine line between doing all the inner work, and there is the outer work that needs to be done, the work, the business work, the marketing, the being out there, the talking and sharing, and, you know, telling everybody and letting people know that you're here. Because it's no good doing all the inner work and going, well, I'm here, why is nobody coming to me? And, you know, why is nobody seeing me? Why is nobody asking for my services? It's because they don't know about me. And so maybe some other people can resonate with that. It is finding that balance. And so I've started to move over and do more of the business side and the marketing. And that's taken a bit of an effort. And I need to be a bit more disciplined about that and create better habits about that. I had created like, if you have mini routines in the day, so like your morning routine, and maybe you've got an evening routine before you go to bed, things like that. Even your meal routine. When do you have them? What do you have? And because again, what you eat can help set you up for the day and keep you going. And so yeah, little mini routines. So I did have a routine in the morning, which, don't know, it's gone by the board the last few weeks, and I need to re-establish it again. Don't know what happened, but again, sometimes these things happen. And so it's not about making it wrong and beating yourself up and saying, oh God, I've done that. Why have I done that? And I shouldn't have done it. It's not about should or shouldn't. It's about recognizing, well, this has happened. Let's start again. What routine do you want? Maybe that is not the routine for me anymore. Maybe I need to establish a slightly different routine in the morning. Is there something else that I would prefer to do? And the things that I was doing in the morning, maybe move them somewhere else. So reevaluate it. Because if you're not picking it up again, is it actually working for you? But it is important to establish a routine. And so, what is it? Peter J. Daniels. Success is having consistent work habits. So it's about consistency. So being consistent. So again, if you slip, don't worry, but it's about re-establishing. It's about being consistent, consistently re-establishing a work habit until it actually becomes something that, because really a habit is something you don't think about. So if you have to think about it, then it's still not quite a habit. Where did I read? Oh yeah, 40% of everything we do on a daily basis is habitual. This means that a big part of our lives is almost entirely on autopilot. So then you have to start recognizing, what are the habits that you have? What is it that you automatically do? And then start saying to yourself, well, does this habit empower me or disempower me? Does it limit me or does it free me? And does it help or does it hinder me from reaching my goals? So the key is recognizing what are those habits that you've got. Because sometimes they're so silent, you just do them. You know, you just don't realize you're doing it. Wake up, wake up. What are they? And then make a note of them and ask those 3 questions. And then say, right, okay, if this isn't empowering me, what habit would empower me? What could I replace this with? And then you have to consciously keep doing it until it then becomes an unconscious habit that you just do automatically. You know, so what habits do you have, Nomsa, that help you?
Okay, I get up in the morning. So when I get up in the morning, it's either 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. So the first thing that I do is my prayer life with God. I have to have a relationship with God, pray, meditate, and prepare myself for the day. If there's some things that I'm happy about, I'm happy. I have to thank God, or even if I'm sad, I thank God for my breathing. I just pray. I spend time with God a lot and meditating. And when I'm finished, I write my journal. All these things I do them in the morning. I write my journal and I do my social media. By the time it gets to 7 o'clock, I've liked everybody's post. I've commented on everyone. I've prayed to God. I've meditated. I've written my journal. When I get to work, no more social media. I don't look at my social media. And then I look on WhatsApp as well on my phone when I wake up first thing in the morning to make sure that my family are okay, because they are all over. So I need to make sure that they are okay. If I don't see a message, that means they are okay. Or if I see a message, I just open it and have a look and see if anyone is sick or if they are alive. If they're okay, they're okay. So I'm happy with that. That is a rule that I do, that I have to check my family first and my friends, because in case something happens when we're sleeping. And by the time it is 7 o'clock, I'm going to have a shower. I've done everything. I am sweating. I have slayed the enemy, and God is protecting me. The blood of Jesus is protecting me for the day, and I'm good to go. And I go to work. I drop my children from school. One of them, the other one, she goes to school very far, so she takes a train or sometimes a bus. To get to school, but she doesn't like to take a bus because apparently school bus is no social same people all the time. She used to, but since last year she no longer wants to take a bus. She wants, because the school bus is all timing, you have to take it in this time, and when you finish school you have to be on it at this time. So that means they can't walk to town, they can't do anything. So she loves being independent, walking, so that's fine. But I like it when you say do your inner work. People don't realize how much inner work has to be done. Like for me, for myself, I do loads of inner work. Let's say if I have a bad week, clients are not happy, families are not happy, you name it. I have to meditate. I have to find a meditation for the lighting up my spirit, and I have to find the meditation dealing with the broken heart, because if things don't go my way. So I do all those things just to cleanse myself. And mostly I use the Bible a lot. Like today I was like praying, I've got it from you, Carol Ann, that whenever there is delay or there's something that is not working, I have to check me out and I have to check my ancestors and my family line and stuff. So I was having a chat with God and saying there's so much delay. I'm contacting people, they're taking time to get back to me, and I need my angel and the angels of God to do the work. And when I go to work today, I got some replies that I wanted, and people are so taking so much time. Honestly, me, when somebody
Nice.
emails me, I just when I'm working on the app, I've got the app for my email. I always check the email emergency. If I email them and say I'm on it, and the ones that are emergency, I always reply. These emails were all emergency. So I was having some time with God today, and I like, things are not working how they should. Can you do the work? You promise that you give me
Mm.
an advocate testify on my behalf to help my advocate do the work. So he did the work, my God. So, and I appreciate him so much. And also I have to have time and just being grateful for the things that I have and things that I are to come, my goals that I've written. I have to have a relationship with those goals as they've happened. And also, you speak about outer work as well. I do exercises in the evening. I used to go running at 5 a.m., but sometimes when it's dark, I don't like running in I fall or something. So now I do exercise. I do the outer work in the evening. It's so much work. Now you've mentioned Carol Ann. Inner work in the morning, outer work in the morning. That's
Really?
almost 3 hours, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
But it does work. It does work because you feel good when you go running or you go to the gym or you do exercises or you go walking. You feel good after that. I love it. I love doing all these things. And also, Carol Annie, you mentioned about meals routines as well. It is important because sometimes we get carried away of what we want to achieve and we neglect ourselves. And for me, I've always have food. I don't skip meals. I always have
Mm.
food. I used to skip meals, but I always have food. And since we had that talk regarding
Mm.
vitamins and making sure we
Uh-huh.
eat food with the vitamins, I always make sure that in my bag, my children's bag, my daughter always make sure they both have their own vitamins. I basically went and bought the supplement for 3 vitamins: E, A, D, and C for 3 months after the talk. And in
Mm.
case if we don't eat enough food, and then we have vitamins, so I make sure that the kids have vitamins and I have my own vitamins. So, and what else did you mention? You mentioned the limits that you have to look at the things that you do or the activities, whether are they limiting you or are they helping you moving forward. Yes, those are the things that I do. Like, if things that are not important, I don't do them. If I have like today, I have things that are really, really important that I need to get on with it. And that's what I focus on. Anything that is not important, I put it on the side.
Good. Yeah, that's brilliant. And I love it. I love it. Love what you're saying. And oh, where have we gone? That what you were saying about the inner work, the outer work, and you're taking the outer work as doing exercise. That is really important. I hadn't looked at that side of outer work. Um, so yeah, that is really important to get up, get moving, get out, um, get out. Whether it is walking or whether it's going on a bike ride or running or just walking up the road, just get some fresh air, even whether it's raining or not, because for me, I quite enjoy walking in the rain. It's something refreshing, and then you get back home and you can dry off and snuggle down. So
Yeah, I like running. I was talking to Martin the other day. He goes, "Oh, it's pouring with rain. We wanted to pick you up." I was like, "You do not pick me up just because
oh
it's raining." I was like, "You pick me up when there is thunder or lightning because I am scared of lightning and thunder."
yeah, oh no.
Oh yeah, because I got hit by lightning by the river once. I think it was last year or
No.
2 years ago. And I was like, it's something I was running, and then there was like something just came and it just very quickly, and I was like, my feet, my leg,
Oh,
it was like so painful for 2 weeks. There was part of me that I wanted to give up. I don't know what if I've given up, what would have happened, but I had to cry, like walking, crying. I had to learn to walk my with my legs.
yeah,
So that's why I
gosh.
am scared of lightning and thunder.
Yeah, yeah. I understand. But I love it. I just the other day when we had some lightning and thunder, it was gone dark, so I opened the curtains, turned the
Yeah.
lights off, and just sat here and watched the lightning and then listened for the
Oh my
thunder.
God, that is so weird, Carol.
Oh, I love it.
I'm
I've always
aware of
loved it.
thunder.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely.
You are so brave.
But so yeah, get out and but what you're saying about when you have delays, I love that you've taken that on board about looking to yourself and taking on that you can do something rather than sitting back and going, oh, it's being delayed and I can't do anything about it. You're doing something about it. You're doing the inner work, putting up a prayer and asking, clearing what needs to be cleared. And things do shift, things do open up, and then the rewards come. So, yeah, it's about asking, it's then about allowing yourself to receive, but then also saying thank you, being grateful.
Yeah.
And that's, again, there's the three sort of steps there, really. So, love it that you're doing that. And I need to do that more because I do it. And then there are times where I realize, oh, I haven't been doing that. So, again, I need to do that more often. It would probably be more beneficial to do that. Something else that I'm thinking about, communication actually is really key
Yeah.
when you're working from home. I mean, it's key wherever you are, whether you're working from home or not, but even more so when you're working from home, because it's about allowing your co-workers or your clients to know what's happening and how they can keep up. And when you're working remotely, it's finding ways of being in communication such that you know where everybody's at. And therefore, I think this is where you can keep on top of your work. If you're in communication with your workers as a manager, you know what they're doing, they know how to communicate with you. There's software out there that allows you to just put in there and say what you're doing. You've got the tasks for the team, and you just go in and you tick off and say, I'm doing it, or you say, I've done this much, we'll do this. You can be in communication. It's so easy. There's no excuse for not knowing where your team is or having your team communicate. And as a worker, you communicating what's happening and where you're at with the work, you know? Be open, be honest, because it's when you're not and you don't get the work done that it goes, well, what's happening? What are you doing? I want you in the office now where I can see you. Yeah. Well, that doesn't help. So, but it is also maybe a good habit to have one day back at the office. Or if you're not somebody that actually has an office that you can work at, or you work, in a team somewhere, you're just self-employed, maybe arrange face-to-face meetings rather than always online. Get out, go and have a lunch somewhere, meet up with somebody, so that you are out of that environment. It's a change of atmosphere, it's a change of scenery, and to actually meet up with somebody is like a breath of fresh air, to be honest. I found that meeting up now with people that I work with, we support each other, and we've been Zooming every week to support one another. And then we've started having quarterly, actually, we meet up. And when we first started doing that last year, it was like, I suddenly felt alive. There was the three of us, and it was so different to being online. And so we do that regularly now, which is, I just go, oh, thank goodness for this, because as I say, I feel more alive. And so I'm doing more of that now. I started meeting up with more people and getting out. And it's actually making me get up and get out and get moving rather than just, it's so easy just to end up just slouched, can't be bothered. And that's where you start sinking into not being very productive. And it is a horrible downward spiral that's very hard to get out of. It's easier to stay on top than it is to get out of it, So bring in that face-to-face time. Go meet up with somebody. And if you don't know, make it happen. Just say to yourself, well, who could I meet up with? Or even put it out there in a group that you're in. I'm going to be, wherever it is, you're going to be. I know someone who she started on a Monday, going to a particular hotel near her and just sitting at a table in the garden for the day. And she's put it out on her profile and said, I'm going to be sitting here if you'd like to come and join me. I'm going to be working, I'm going to be here reading, writing, or whatever she's doing. But also, if you want to come and have a conversation, book some time with me. And she's really enjoyed doing that. And she's had people that actually come and met up with her there.
Oh yeah, people do. Yeah, people do. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need to stay in, and because that energetically doesn't help you, and also it's not healthy. It doesn't help your health, because getting up and getting out, it's that movement, it's that walking, it's getting some fresh air, and it's just that movement. It's bringing movement and liveliness back into your life. So the other thing is, don't forget to reward yourself. If you succeed, give yourself a reward. I don't know about you, but I'm not very good at that. I'm having to be more attentive to doing that and saying, oh, well, actually, I've succeeded. I've achieved this. What can I do to reward myself? I'm going to give myself something, or go out, something that you really would love to do. So for a lady, maybe go and do your nails, go and have a manicure or a pedicure. If you love going to the movies and you don't get out very often, it's something special. Go to the movies, go to the theatre, or even just buying yourself a particular meal, a takeaway that you would not normally do, but just something that would be special and just as a reward. So it doesn't have to be big. It can be, just a small thing, but it's acknowledging your success. That's what's key. And share it with other people. Share it. So, do make sure that you reward yourself, you acknowledge your successes as you do them. And that's something I'm getting better at. What about you, Nomsa? Are you very good at rewarding yourself or acknowledging your successes, or do you keep moving on to what you haven't done yet and what haven't you done yet?
I've learned to slow down, Carol Ann. I used to think that life is all about setting goals and achieving them and moving on to something else. But I've learned to actually, when I achieve my goals, I've learned to actually relax and acknowledge where I've been and how that journey has been, and actually thank God for that time and that moment, and just relax. If I need a half an hour to just relax and doing nothing, I will do it. But before, I used to think I have to be work, and achieve goals and tell people, share my success, and 2 seconds I've forgotten about it. But now I just work. I work hard, and when I work hard, I know that no one can actually uh, acknowledge your success, like your success, like what you said, Carol, and share your success, and celebrate your wins. And if you don't acknowledge your success, no one will. And before people acknowledge it, your energy has to be the one that it draws people to you to celebrate with you. So I actually I celebrate my success. I was talking to this woman yesterday. We had a meeting at 6 a.m. And actually, she's made me realize actually having a meeting early in the morning is good instead of saying I'm not available, like putting hours, like work hours. So now when I setting up meetings, I'm gonna start my diary from 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. If someone is in a different country, or even in the UK, there are some people who are early birds. So we were talking, and she was saying they've been following me for quite some time on social media, and they want to write an article. And I was explaining how I got to where I am today. And I basically realized that actually, when you're doing something, you don't know who is watching you. You don't know who is listening to you. So make sure that when you do whatever you do it with love and grace, not trying hard. Just do it with love. If you make a mistakes on social media posting, learn from those mistakes instead of trying to be something that you're not. And I had her and someone from a company, they were chasing me, and I had to say, listen, I'm already speaking to someone from your company, so that's fine. And she was like, yeah, so we want to drive traffic to your website and social media. They have, I think, uh, um, they're based in India, so they basically have women around the world who have their own businesses. They look for them and people who have accomplished things and stuff. So I was like, yeah, and I was so proud that she gave me her time to have time and to speak to me. And those are the things that we take for granted. We think that being successful is something that if someone has to recognize it. For me, I don't need people to recognize my work. I have to recognize my work myself, and I have to embrace it myself. I have to embrace and thank the audience, myself in my heart, for those who are taking time and just stopping by. I have to acknowledge them myself. That's what I believe. And mostly, I have a family at Ngozi talk shows. You guys, the speakers, you are amazing. Like yesterday, I had an appointment and I tried to change this appointment 2 weeks ago. Like you were saying, people don't reply, and the guy did not bother to reply to me. I walk in and I was like, this guy doesn't know how busy I am. You can't just make an appointment except someone to say I'm gonna turn up. And I was like, I wanted to rearrange the appointment. I left him like 10 messages. He did not reply to me. So I had to say, Claudia, can you step in and now you broadcast the show? Because the appointment was very, very important. So I know I have a family, and doing that is something that I had to accept it myself. I had to recognize, because sometimes when you work, and I've learned this from my workplace where uh, I used to work, where you turn up every day. I did 9 till 5 for 1 year, and I was like, this is not for me. I'm not used to this. Yeah, when I left the football, I moved to Henley and I got a job at 9 till 5, and it didn't work that well. It didn't work out well. Uh, and I see, like I see the staff, they turn up every single day. They put their soul, their blood, sweat, and the manager still does not appreciate them. And I was like, I'll never treat anyone like this. Uh, it's not fair. And I would turn up, me, I ask questions. So one day I had to ask, I was like, why is it every time people do the work, you always find the blame and the blame and the blame? I realize it's company policy. They want more and more and more. And it's more like doing the paperwork. So now I acknowledge it. That's why I always making sure that our team, you guys always, I'm annoying anyway. Me, I'm annoying, I know. I always appreciate you guys all the time. And every time I'm doing something, I always like, do you know why I saw, what's her name? She came out of the group yesterday. But do you know why I put every success that I do or every discovery that I discover, I always, because I don't want you guys to be left behind. I need you guys to follow me where I'm going. Every time Shanda helps me with something, I always put it in the group because she's actually says you have to share, you have to serve people, worship people. Is life is all about giving. You want to, you have to learn to give, and you have to teach anyone around you like the habit of sharing what you do. Don't be like somebody who say, oh, she's copying me. He get over it. If you are that person who says, oh, my talk show, this one is copying me, she says, get over it. There's plenty audience, so get over it. So if you find the information, share it with everybody. That's why I share all the information, so people don't realize why I share it. So, and the habit of face-to-face, you said, you mentioned the face-to-face habit. It is very important if you are working virtually to make sure that you have some face-to-face meetings with people. Otherwise, you get frustrated, you start isolating yourself from people. I can't cope with the virtual work, not facing people. So that's why I go to the office in the morning. I need to see people, although I'm on my own and they're on their own, they're doing what they do, but I need face to face with people. And also, you say share your success with people. It is very important to share what you do with people and celebrate your winnings, and acknowledging where you've been and the person you have become. Even if you fail, when you learn to celebrate yourself, when you fail, you see the fail as success. And you see that failure as learning. You've learned something from it. No one just fails and not learning anything from it. I done things where they don't go my way, but if you can ask me, Nomsa, can you teach me again? If I win the next time, if you ask me, teach me how you did this, I'll teach you. But the things that I just accomplish just like that, if you ask me to win, I'll go on Google and help you with Google how it works. But anything else that I had to work for it, anything else that I had to learn, if you ask me, how do you run a business? I will tell you, sit down, have a cup of tea and have a cup of coffee. And I will be telling you, like giving you different shoes that represent a different journey. The shoes of running shoes, the shoes of slowing down when things get tough. You have to slow down. Everything, because I know I've been there. It's not easy when you see this face and you think it's easy to run a business. No easy. It's a journey that you look back and you embrace it and you laugh about it. I'm sure you've gone through, Carol Anna, where you get criticized by people, where things don't work your way. You work from home and something stops working, and then you have to keep this character where frustration after frustration, and keep doing the inner work. I'm sure you've been there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is. It's can be a constant battle, but you can have it as a battle or you can have it as a dance. The choice is yours, I think. And again, it's down in your language, how you talk about it. But something I read this morning is, I don't know who this is by, but it's a quote that says, good work habits help develop an internal toughness and a self-confident attitude that will sustain you through every adversity and temporary discouragement. So good work habits are what will help you to get through. You know, they might knock you down, you might be discouraged, knock you down, but if you just keep on with your habits, helps bring you back up again. So I thought that was a lovely quote there to ponder on and think about. What is the benefit of having a good work habit? Because yes, you do get knocked down. People do criticize, and things happen. But it is about how resilient can you be, how resourceful can you be. And I love what you're saying about, and sometimes they're copying me can stop you, because it's like, oh, what's the point? Well, actually, if that person's copying you, take it as a praise. It's like, wow, they think I've got something worth copying here. I've got something worth sharing and
with
spreading
them,
out. They've got a completely different audience to you. They don't have the same people that you do to talk to. So they're spreading your word. Just let it go and just keep doing what you're doing and just give it with grace. It's like, okay, if they aren't able to think for themselves and create their own, they're acknowledging that mine is good enough to share. You know, without the resentment. So that's where the battle then stops. The resentment, and what can turn to ill health because of it, because you get anger and frustration. Just let it go and say, okay, so thank you for showing that what I do is good enough to share out, and just send them love and light, and thank the Lord for what you've been given to be able to do the work that you're doing that somebody wants to copy, because it's clearly it's great work. And you could then put up the question, right, how can I up level this? How can I upgrade what I do, take it up another level? So how can I improve it, expand on it? You know, and that's, for me, that's the best attitude. And it is about your attitude and your mindset, how you actually manage to keep going. So the other thing I love, you said you've learned to slow down. That's brilliant, because, you know, it's something I've learned all these years. I keep getting, the stiller you are, the more you get done. And I keep going, how much stiller have I got to get? But there's always another level of stillness to get to, and I keep finding it. But it's surprising how you're not dissipating. And I have there's a parcel coming. Things get delivered just like that, you know, for whoever it is that wants it. And I'm just going to pop.
You're going to go get your parcel.
I'm just going to go and get it, because I don't think there's any way to get it. So sometimes you just have to say, I need to go and do something. Put your work on hold for a minute. So if you'll excuse me, I'll just go and get it in, because it's in the rain at the moment outside.
You go get the parcel.
Okay, and I'll leave you to carry on the conversation and where we left off. You know, learning to slow down. Keep learning. Won't be a minute.
Oh yes, Carol Ann, she's right. I've learned to actually slow down because we get carried away with life, and we think that life is all about, when you run your own business, life is all about achieving the goals and going to the next goal, and not recognizing yourself, or not actually standing still and look after your health. And then when the doctors tells you that actually there is something wrong with your body, and then that's when you start like, I need to slow down. So I've learned to slow down. I do my work, and if I don't have to work, I don't have to work. And I just listen to my music or I meditate. It depends with I meditate every day anyway. And also, like Carol Ann, you were saying, talking about the benefits of working from home. Working from home is it gives you that flexibility of setting your own time, your own hours. And then, like myself, I have kids, and making sure that I go to my children's meetings. I don't miss meetings. Honestly, my older ones, my older, she'll be 60. Even now, when she has a school events, it's like you can see, like we're walking at school, like if she's sitting there, you can see the smile, she's changing. I'm like, woman, because I've always been there, like it's from day one. You can see her smile, her face changes. And even when she's performing, you could see that she's like, my mom is here, or my dad is here. Or if her dad is going, she's like, but are you coming? I'm like, but your dad is going. She's like, it's not the same. You have to come as well. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And then when she sees us, and then she is happy. So it gives you that flexibility of having to attend children's activities. I don't like missing their activities. I think it's very, very important. Even when I have a job, I always make sure that before I had a job with my youngest, my oldest one, I would just ask if I can, that was for a short of time anyway. I'll ask if I can go and just spend time with her, school activities, and finish work early or take annual leave. So I think it's very, very important. But nowadays, it's impossible to get annual leave with the children activities. They seem to be doing activities all the time.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And
So
it is,
how was
yeah.
your parcel? You've got your parcel?
It's good. Got the parcel. Yeah, it's not actually mine, but there's no one else here to pick it up, so
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
left
it's
outside.
raining.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah, it's
raining,
raining.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's spitting out there. So I thought, yeah. But I love what you're saying about it is important, because to be able to do the things with your children, take those appointments with them, see what they're doing, share it, because that is such a short space of time. It may seem like a long time when you're living through it, but actually, before you know where you are, you blink and that time's gone. You know, it's over. So appreciate the time that you can spend with your children and make that time. And this is something that you can do if you're working from home, is creating more time for yourself, in as much as you can book appointments in the daytime rather than, at the end of the day where it's going to be really busy. You could go and do it in the daytime where it would be over having a doctor's appointment or something else, or maybe even go shopping where it's not going to take as much time, and then you could do your work later on in the evening. But you've saved some time because you're not being held up with queues and lots of people, because you had to have it after school or after work hours, so make use of your time the best way, so you actually save yourself some time. And so that's worth thinking about. It's not a case of, oh, well, I'm 9 to 5, I'm working and I'm working at home. I've still got to make the appointments outside of that. Make it work for you.
Yep.
Make it work for you. And as long as you get your work done, that's what I say is the most important thing. And you can show that. That's brilliant. And so it's actually about thinking and working like a manager rather than an employee who sits and waits to be told what to do. As a manager, you take charge of your work. You think strategically about what needs to be done, and you take action. So you are the one that's planning it, you're taking control of it, and you're managing the workflow, but you're also looking at the resources that you need and getting them, or mobilizing them. It's a nice word, mobilize. I haven't seen that word in a long time, but mobilize resources to achieve your objectives. And it is about being more resourceful. It's not about working harder. It's about being resourceful to get the job done. And we've all got the resources. We've got resources within ourselves. We've got skills. We've got knowledge. We've got our own ways of working. And we know other people that can support us. So again, it's about being in communication, putting it out there. If there's something that you can't get done, put a message out. Is there somebody that could support you or help you? Is there someone that you know? Ask for help. They can say yes or no, and you can then always come back with something else. Is a yes. This is 3 answers to when you've been asked to do something. There's a yes, there's a no, and there's another option. It's like it's 3 things, 3 ways that you can respond. So just think about that as well. Be resourceful. Be resourceful. And just remember that motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. And that's Jim Ryan that said that. So be motivated, because that will get you going. But do you have habits that will keep you going? And that's a question that I need to listen to myself. I keep getting myself motivated and I get going, but I haven't got the habits, enough habits, or habits that serve me in a better way, that keep it going. It's like it stops every now and again. So again, that's why I need to review, what are my habits? What are my routines? What is it that I like to do? And create my own routine, my own habit. How do I work best? Because I know they say working best is in the morning, but for me, I don't always find that. I'm finding that come midnight, I'm awake and I'm working, and all of a sudden I'm doing things, and it's like, wow, I'm alert, and I can get a lot done. But that doesn't help me wake up in the morning. So again, I need to find my own balance and way of doing it, and what works best for me. So there's something else Colin Powell said here. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude. So again, it's down to your attitude, your mindset. So it's looking at the little things, having habits in little matters. Because again, it's little, bit by bit by bit, actually is what gets the job done. And so it doesn't matter if it's little bit by little bit. Don't beat yourself up if you're only doing bit by bit. I've learned to stop doing that. And then occasionally you'll have this huge leap forward. It's like, oh my goodness, And so just acknowledge what you are doing, acknowledge the successes, and keep going. Create those habits that keep you going. And Aristotle says, and you'll love this, Nonsa, it is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. So I read that and went, okay. Maybe there is something for me to look at. Maybe there's something for me to think about.
Yeah.
So but it's keeping going, it's having those habits, and again looking at what habits are not serving you. Maybe they served you in the past, but things have changed. And it's about recognizing what's changed. And therefore, maybe your habits need to change. It's a thought. What's changed that in your life you're attempting to still have the same habits, but things aren't working? Have a look at those habits. Do they serve you in the same way? Do you need to review them in the light of what's changing and what has changed? So rather than struggle, just take time, be still for a moment, ask for guidance, and say, well, look, this isn't working. What's happening here? What's changed? What habits am I employing at the moment that maybe you're not supporting me? What habits do I need to create? And what routines do I now need? Don't be afraid to change things. Things don't need to be set in stone. Doesn't need to be rigid and this is how it has to be forever and ever. Took that tension. Just take a breath and go and let it go. Let go. Be willing to let go of old routines and habits that no longer serve you. Because you will be safe. You will be okay. And there is support out there. So just what new habits could you create? And just go and have fun. Explore. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. That's what I always like to say. It's an adventure. Explore. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's my last
I agree with you,
words
Carol.
I'd like
And
to leave
you've got to
people with.
enjoy what you do. Yeah, you got to enjoy your habit. You got to enjoy your goals when you set them up, even if things don't go your way. Instead of you're setting up goals and things don't go your way, and then you start being too hard on yourself. What's the point of setting those goals? If things don't go your way, let it be. Stand still. And then they regroup again. So it is important what Carol Anna has said, that make sure that you set up goals and to deliver them. If things don't go, the day don't go the way you want that day, just relax and make sure that you reach your target. And working from home, enjoy your time working from home. Stay away from social media. Some people tend to, it's a habit. I've realized with myself that once my mind made up its choice that I don't need to go on social media once I do this or once I start working, it's a habit that when you practice, it becomes like natural. And also the people that you are surrounded, your tribe, look at your tribe as well, because you learn the habits from those people. If those people have really the discipline, and you will be the same, you will be disciplined as well. And we are here at Nkosi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And please, YouTube family, subscribe to our channel. And also, Carol Anna has her retreat, and please follow her on social media. If you want to find out what her retreat is about, message her. She will explain. Carol Ann, do you want to explain your retreat? 1 minute?
It
Won't take.
It's literally, it's a 5-day face-to-face, in-person, immersive writing retreat where you really get to explore the writing, connect with your inner writer, get your story written. And I'm giving that cradle of emotional support so that you can really dive into the emotional aspects and write from there. So go on my Facebook profile. There's a link on there. Yeah, do look me up. And I've got posts about it. And if you're looking for 5 days away to just write and really get your story written, then connect with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol Ann. And also, it's nice to be away as well and spending time with people who are minded like you. And writing your own story is very, very important. Um, Please get in touch with Carol Ann if you are looking for love and you want to find your own voice and lead from within. Get in touch with Gossip Talk Shows, and we are here to serve you guys and live with grace. I'll speak to you soon. God bless.